Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Joe, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Samsung Odyssey G5 gaming monitor, so stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this. Alright guys, so first off I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's contributed to my channel. I put out 2 review videos previously, and you guys have been awesome at running up the view numbers, giving your likes, your dislikes, even just putting your comments on any kind of support that I can give you based off of my experience. So feel free to do the same thing with this guy. I'm not expecting anything super crazy like my first video hitting like above 30k views, so that was super awesome. You guys are amazing for that. But yeah, let's jump right into this. So we have the Samsung Odyssey G5 27-inch monitor. Now this is the new iteration of that monitor. I picked it up from Walmart. The actual code for this is the LC27G54TQW. I think it extends out a little bit more, but I don't have all those numbers, and that's honestly all you really need. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of ease of mind, I'm going to put all of this information linked down below, even the pricings. Want to give a huge shout out to Honey, because I would not have found this good price from Walmart if it was not for Honey. These guys are not contributing to this video through support. They're just like an awesome service, so I'm gonna link them down below too to give you guys an honest way to get the best price for almost any electronic, period. So just to kind of get into the specs here, this monitor is a 1440p monitor. This is a 2K monitor, so 2000 pixels rather than 1080p. It's that next up from 2K, not exactly 4K. But honestly, I picked this guy up for a very important reason. I am a next-gen console lover and user. I have my PS5 digital edition. Super hard to get that, and I actually got it through StockX. If you guys want to find out more information about that, I think some people have already done some reviews in that regard, or even just kind of reviewed the service of StockX. Started out kind of as a hype beast product acquirement market, and now it's like this whole app that's just kind of blown up where you can get everything from shoes to electronics and whatnot. So again, just let me know down below if you guys want to find out more information on the PS5 and how I got it and my whole experience. Aside from that, jumping back into the specs, it is a 2K monitor, 1440p, and it's rad because it does 4K pass-through, which is something that I really importantly needed to get, because I use this monitor to play games at 120 frames per second for next-gen games. Not a whole lot out there, mainly just like Fortnite is the only game in my library right now that I'm aware of that actually has it. I'm kind of hoping that Apex Legends will soon have it. That's like my addiction. If anybody knows me in person, you know how into Apex Legends I am. So yeah, I've been really excited about that. So this pass-through lets us get the higher frame rates without sacrificing the quality. What it does is it dumbs down that 4K down to 2K. As well, this monitor is super rad because it does 250 nits of brightness. Now, I know that you guys are thinking, oh dude, that's really not a lot, but pair that with the HDR10 that's on there, you get really deep blacks, very good contrast, and then all of the shadows are just perfectly placed so you can see things in the shadows. It's not just like really high gamma and then you're just like, bro, is that a rock? Or it just kind of looks like the outline of rocks. So this is like a really good monitor in that regard. And for the price point, I think this, I'll get to that in just a moment, but for the price point, these features are amazing. Just want to say this is kind of a low mid-tier range monitor. Way better option than trying to find a 4K 120 hertz TV, because right now finding any TV with HDMI 2.1, I think it is like ridiculously expensive. Like I think it's like $800 up. So we're not going to be jumping into that. 1 millisecond response time, and I know I'm reading off of like the very basic stuff that you can see online, but I'm just gonna kind of get through that and then finally talk about the experience that I've had with this guy. AMD FreeSync capable, even though the next gen consoles do not take advantage of the variable refresh rate for that. They kind of runs on its own proprietary system for that. So it's not gonna really take advantage of the hardware accelerated stuff. And that's okay because, like I said, 1 millisecond response time is still great, and if you have a fast enough monitor for the right price and the right panel, you're gonna get a great experience no matter what. And this has a 1000R curvature. All that really means is that the curvature is kind of like slight. It's not a very huge curve. Honestly, I never thought I would ever in my life own a curved monitor, but I've been really happy with the 1000R curvature, and I might in the future be looking at like deeper curved monitors. But this is just kind of like my dipping my feet in the water, really getting that first experience. So I think it's great that you get to see kind of like wrapping around your peripheral vision the whole map, and it just like immerses you into this whole experience. And then the refresh rate max point on this actual monitor is 144 Hertz. So just because we're capped at 120 for next gen consoles, if you have a PC and you pick up this monitor and you want to double it as your PC/console monitor, switching from DisplayPort to HDMI or even using an HDMI splitter, you have that option, and you can take advantage of that feature where you get a bit higher frame rate than you would expect just from a console. So to those people who've been jumping the gun and getting expensive PCs, shout out to y'all. This option is really good for you as well. Like I said, it has HDR10, has that great range of sRGB. Bright scenes are really bright. Darks are really dark, really good contrast in one area, and I'll kind of show you through video, which is not going to give you the best experience, but it is something, you know, you can still kind of see for yourself. Now, kind of one of the drawbacks that this guy has is it comes with its own stand, and it's static, so it doesn't like rotate, doesn't go up and down, doesn't swivel, none of that action. It's just a very static monitor, which is great for me because honestly, I don't need anything else. I have it right in front of my face with my own situation. I kind of game in my room. This is on top of my dresser desk, and it works for me. So yeah, just something to think about. It does have 75 by 75 VESA mount points on the back. So if you do have your own stand or want to pick up a stand where you can hook up multiple monitors, yes, this guy can fully be adapted into a VESA mount. So it can be rotated and whatnot. Just build a whole ball of screens at the right curvature or something. I don't know, something crazy like that. Whatever you guys want to do. I know that there's like some crazy builds out there. I'm pretty simple. This is really just kind of a review for a product that is easy to pick up and store at Walmart. Maybe you don't have a lot of experience. Yeah, this is for those people. I am one of those. And then it's got a really user-friendly interface to kind of piggyback off of that. With the simplicity of the setup and the actual monitor itself, you have a user interface where you just literally jump in, go through your menu settings. It's not something crazy where you're like adjusting your greens and blues to like the very like minute like differences. But realistically, you can kind of fine-tune the brightness and contrast, set up the variable refresh rate if you're running on PC or what have you. Just make sure that it's on the different settings that you like, and I'll kind of run you through that and show you what it looks like in just a moment here. And then like I said, for the ports, you have DisplayPort. It is the DisplayPort 1.2, HDMI 2.0, and then USB, and then DC power. The reason why, and some of you guys heard me talk about HDMI 2.1 earlier, the reason why this doesn't have HDMI 2.1, again, it's because it is not a 4K 120 Hertz monitor. It is a 2K 144 Hertz refresh rate monitor, so think about that. And then finally, like it doesn't have speakers. It's very straightforward, very basic, which is kind of a nice thing because of the fact that you're not gonna have a lot of stuff breaking down on you. The more features a lot of these monitors have, the more jack of all trades they are, the less that they specialize in something. So this monitor, I would say, specializes in each feature that it does have, and it gives a great performance at a great price point. So just think about that. It does not have speakers, but it does have a 3.5 headphone jack. I don't think I would ever find myself using it. Most of you guys won't either because your computer has I/O on it, or you guys have your own audio cards, or your console is what you're plugged into for your games. So, but just know if ever in a weird case you might need it, it does have HDMI or has 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And finally, it has a USB. This is a non-powered USB because of the fact it is for upgrades like solely. It is for maintaining the device. It's not really meant for you to be like plugging. I just tried it earlier actually too, plugging in like a light that has USB through it and then trying to use it through that. For some reason, it just doesn't send the power through for enough voltage. So, something to think about. Again, most of your devices that you plug into it are gonna have their own USB anyway, so nothing to trip about. Super good features regardless, and that's kind of the rundown. The next step, we're gonna talk about the actual user interface. All right, guys, so jumping right in here, as you can see, we have the menu button that kind of takes us to the initial part of the user interface. You have power off, return, source, and menu. When you get into the actual menu itself, you have options here, such as game, picture, on-screen display, system, and support. It's really good because of the fact that you can, again, fine-tune to what you need, but it's not overly, complicated. And you can see what is happening at the top. You have your black equalizer, response time, refresh rate, FreeSync, and low input lag. Your refresh rate is set to whatever you want to set it to. Again, for me, I only really need it at 120 hertz for 120 frames per second. And then you have other features that you can go through, such as black equalizer, which is only for really just when you plug it into devices that are like AMD or your computer. You have your response time. I always set it to fastest because you want to process things as fast as possible. You also have FreeSync. And the FreeSync, again, is something you can't take advantage of, but it's still cool to have it there. Low input lag. Again, you're not gonna have to worry about that because your input lag is gonna be only limited to the actual device itself that you plug into. And the more of these features that you turn on, the more processing the actual monitor has to go through. So less is more in that case. Sometimes the best calibration that you have is honestly kind of no calibration. Screen size, 16:9 ratio, which is your average ratio. It makes it so that even if you have like a wide screen, that curves, you're not going to take it off of the point of where the game's gonna have content on the screen. And then virtual aim point is a feature that I do not use, but say you're playing a game like CSGO or whatnot and you wanna have your crosshairs on the screen, that's gonna help you just have it straight up in the middle and you can kind of set that guy for it. Picture mode is pretty straightforward. Like I said, that's where you're gonna go in and you can kind of change every single minute detail that you want for brightness, contrast, sharpness, color, whatnot, black level, eye saver mode, screen adjustment, on-screen display info, system info. Those things, including support, are just kind of where you get really deep into the actual monitor itself and really features that I don't find myself using at all. And you exit out and it's very straightforward. It's all kind of controlled by a little button on the bottom of the monitor, and the button is just like the up, down, left, right, almost like a D-pad on your controller. So that's pretty cool, something to think about. Less is more. People will talk about reviews online and they'll say how the quality of this monitor is bad. And honestly, you have to think of this. Monitors are not gonna have the craziest build quality because these are not meant to be stress tested. These are not meant to be like physically put through like damaging situations, because of the fact that these are meant to be almost like always in a static place on your actual desk. Set it, forget it, not have to like remember about it ever again. So now to talk about like some of the reviews, I just want to like add this into it. When you do your research, you're gonna see stuff like Samsung.com has reviews, and it's on average this monitor is a 3.2 out of 5 stars. That goes based off the quality of the build of the product. Like I said, plastic, a lot of plastic. There's nothing super dense and metal about it. The same thing can be said about Walmart reviews and Amazon reviews. They're not that great. Walmart, I think, was only like 0.2 like review points higher than Samsung, so 3.4 out of 5. And honestly, like I said, I haven't really had this experience myself. It's a bummer for the people that have. I hope that you guys get your situations figured out. But for me and for those who've had great experiences, this has been the monitor of choice. Now the reason why is this is a $249 monitor. I got it at Walmart for $250. Other places are selling it from like GameStop, Amazon, and Samsung for like $260 up. Like I've even seen it at like $310, which is ridiculous. But having it for $250, I have myself a 2K 144 hertz TN monitor. VA monitor. I think it is VA. And this guy has the best features with HDMI 10, 1 millisecond refresh rate, and the performance, real world gaming performance is great. I have been absolutely blessed. I'm glad I jumped the gun to get this, and I think it's honestly worth it for not just like competitive gamers. I think it's great for the average gamer. If you want to play next gen games, you can get a really great experience from 2K rather than investing another $400+ to try and get that 4K experience. I will tell you, and you can do so much research online that will tell you, most people are not gaming on 4K yet. There is not a big demand for it. People would like to see it. There's a lot of enthusiasts who push themselves for it. That's why you see the products out there. But these are also the products that are very expensive either to get into, or they're so cutting edge that the support for them is not the greatest. So think about that when you're purchasing your next product for gaming, especially now that we're getting into those levels where we're seeing more commonality for 2K, 4K, and weirdly enough, these products are designed for 8K. Like I see on the box for PS5s like 8K. Like no, we are not gaming in 8K yet. I can tell you that much. But sometime in the future, 8K will seem like it's nothing. It'll be like the average. Our phones will be like running at 8K, and we're just like, oh yeah, dude, I could see like pixel density from like that, building over there in the smallest part of the corner of my screen. Something crazy. But right now, you have a future-proof product that's gonna be good for the next couple years. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg, and you can enjoy it right now. You can make it so that when you want to upgrade, say you're like thinking about getting in the market for a gaming PC, and you're like, dude, I don't know, I don't want to just get a 1080p monitor. I think I want to get a 4K. Think about 2K first. Think about 1440p. That is the hidden gem. When you want to take things serious, you go into competitions. They're not gaming on 4K monitors. I can 100% tell you that. They want to get the highest frame rate that they can. They're going to either be on 1080p or 1440p. So think about that. This guy is great. Like I said, I've had him for 2 months. I want to encourage you guys to try this product out at least. Look into it. Samsung has a pedigree for their monitor quality, for their screen quality, for the amazing color density and pixel density that they have going down. You're gonna be so impressed, I promise you, especially if you're jumping from your straight up TV, which is like my case. I had my Philips 4K TV, and here I am now jumping into this monitor, and it's been awesome. So think about it, guys. Thank you so much for just listening to me rant, go on about this review. This is not like the first one, but I hope that my opinion does matter to you guys. If you do have any comments, comment, subscribe down below, please. That would help me out so much. Dislike, tell me what you want me to change. I don't mind. I take criticism pretty well. So shout out to you guys. You're all amazing. Have a wonderful day. And this has been The Average Joe.